Living with a cancer diagnosis, the power of neighborly love. When I received my cancer diagnosis, my world turned upside down. It was a scary and uncertain time, but little did I know that the power of neighborly love would soon come into play and make all the difference in my journey towards recovery. That day began like any other, with the sun peering gently through my curtains and the neighborhood waking up to its usual symphony of early morning sounds. But as I sat in the doctor's office, listening to the words "you have cancer," it was as though time itself had frozen. My heart raced, my thoughts scattered like leaves in the wind. I struggled to grasp the reality of the situation, to understand how life, as I knew it, could change so abruptly. In the moments following my cancer diagnosis, the office around me felt eerily silent, despite the doctor's attempts to comfort me and outline the next steps. Words like treatment plans and recovery rates floated around me, but all I could think about was the impact this would have on my life. How would I tell my family? What would this mean for my ability to contribute to the community that I held so dear? As I left the doctor's office, the world outside seemed different. The vibrant colors of the flower market I passed every day seemed dimmed, and the laughter from the nearby park, which usually filled me with joy, now echoed with a hollowness. I felt a profound sense of isolation, as if an impenetrable wall had suddenly been erected between me and the rest of the world. But even in that whirlwind of emotion, a small voice inside me whispered, urging me not to succumb to despair. I knew that the road ahead would be challenging, perhaps the most difficult journey of my life. Yet, in that moment of turmoil, I also knew I had a reservoir of strength within me. It was a strength born from years of giving and receiving love within my community, a strength that I would soon come to rely on more than ever before. Little did I know then, just how much the support and kindness of my neighbors would become my beacon of hope in the days to come. For as long as I can remember, being an active part of my community has been more than just a pastime, it's been a way of life. From the early days of organizing local bake sales to leading community beautification projects, I've always believed in the power of giving back. This deep-rooted commitment to my community was born out of a desire to make a difference, however small, in the lives of those around me. My involvement ranged from the hands-on, such as planting trees and flowers to beautify our streets, to the more administrative, like coordinating volunteer schedules for our neighborhood watch. Each task, no matter how significant or menial it seemed, was a stitch in the fabric of our shared community life, weaving together stronger bonds between us all. What I didn't realize at the time was how this network of relationships, built on countless acts of service and kindness, would one day become my lifeline. My active role in the community wasn't just about what I could do for others, but it was also about planting seeds of goodwill that would grow into a support system I could rely on in times of need. Each event planned, every hour volunteered, and all the moments spent engaging with my neighbors weren't just entries in my calendar, they were investments in human connection, fostering a sense of belonging and mutual care. Through this lens, my community involvement took on a new meaning. It was about more than just the tangible outcomes of each project or event. It was about building a foundation of trust, empathy, and support that could withstand even the most challenging of times. This realization only deepened my commitment to my community, encouraging me to seek out even more ways to contribute and stay connected. Little did I know, these connections would soon become my greatest source of strength and hope, illuminating the path through one of my life's most challenging journeys. The first rays of the morning sun had just begun to warm the edges of my living room when I heard a soft knock at my door. Hesitantly, I made my way to answer it, unsure of what to expect. Standing on my doorstep was Sarah, a neighbor whose smile had always been a source of comfort in our community. In her hands, she carried a bag filled with groceries, her eyes shining with a warmth that immediately eased some of the heaviness in my heart. "Hi," she greeted, her voice carrying a melody of hope. "I brought you some essentials. We all heard about your diagnosis, and we just want you to know that you're not alone. We're here for you, whatever you need." I was speechless. The thought that my neighbors had come together in such a compassionate way left me overwhelmed with gratitude. Until that moment, the weight of my diagnosis had been a solitary burden, one that I carried through sleepless nights and endless waves of fear. But Sarah's gesture, simple yet profound, cracked open a door to a world where I didn't have to face this challenge alone. As I invited her in, we talked, not just about my diagnosis, but about life, about the neighborhood, and about the countless ways in which this community had always managed to come together in times of need. It was a reminder of the countless bake sales, the beautification projects, and the impromptu gatherings that had knit us tightly together over the years. Sarah's visit was more than just a delivery of food. It was the first of many acts of kindness that would come to define my journey with cancer. It wasn't just about the groceries she brought that day, it was about the message those groceries carried, a message of unity, love, and unwavering support. This gesture was the first of many that would see me through the darkest of days, reminding me that even in the midst of my battle, I was surrounded by an incredible community that had become my extended family. In that moment, I understood that with their support, I was far stronger than I had ever imagined. The days following my diagnosis were clouded with fear. It was a fear that seemed to grip me at the core, making every step forward feel like a monumental task. Yet, it was in these moments of vulnerability that my neighbors, my dearest friends, stepped in and showed me the true strength of our community. Their actions, both big and small, began to transform my fear into something much more powerful: hope. I remember vividly the morning I found a schedule taped to my front door, a detailed plan crafted by my neighbors to help manage my household chores. It was a tangible representation of their commitment to my well-being, a gesture that left me both humbled and empowered. Each knock on my door brought with it a sense of anticipation, as friends arrived with hearty meals, ready to share stories and laughter that lightened the burden of my illness. Their willingness to drive me to countless doctor's appointments meant that I never had to face the sterile environment of the hospital alone. Sitting in the waiting room, I often reflected on the incredible support system that surrounded me, feeling a surge of gratitude for the companionship that made each visit more bearable. Perhaps one of the most heartwarming initiatives was the meal train. The diversity of dishes that graced my table each evening was a testament to the caring and culinary talents of my neighbors. But it was more than just the food that nourished me, it was the love and thoughtfulness behind each meal that fed my soul and rekindled my hope. Through these actions, my neighbors showed me that hope is not just a feeling, it's something that can be actively cultivated through kindness, support, and a shared sense of community. They taught me that even in our darkest times, we have the power to light each other's way. With their support, I began to see my journey with cancer not as a solitary battle, but as a path we were navigating together, transforming fear into hope with each act of kindness. As my journey with cancer unfolded, I began to understand deeply the critical role community plays in healing. Every gesture of support from my neighbors was like a balm to my weary spirit, proving time and again that healing is not just a physical process, but an emotional and spiritual one too. This incredible wave of community support was not something I had anticipated. Yet, as the days turned into weeks, the presence of my friends and neighbors became a constant source of comfort and encouragement. It wasn't just the practical help they provided, like meals or rides to the doctor, but the emotional support that truly made a difference. The spontaneous visits, the cards filled with kind words, the calls just to check in, these acts of kindness filled my home with a warmth and a sense of hope that was palpable. I learned that healing could take many forms. Sometimes, it was found in the quiet moments spent sharing a cup of tea with a neighbor, reminiscing about days gone by or dreaming about the future. Other times, it was in the laughter that filled my home during visits, momentarily lifting the burden of my illness and filling the space with joy. My community's unwavering support showed me that healing is a journey we embark on together. It's a collective endeavor where the love, care, and empathy of those around us can propel us forward, even on the hardest days. This experience has taught me that the strength of a community can indeed fortify the spirit, provide a shoulder to lean on, and infuse our lives with a sense of belonging and purpose that is vital for recovery. Through this journey, my community became my stronghold, my source of strength and optimism. Their role in my healing process has been indispensable, proving that when we come together in times of need, we have the power to uplift and heal, not just the body, but the soul as well. The journey after my cancer diagnosis taught me the irreplaceable value of a support network, a lesson I'm eager to share. Here are some insights and strategies that helped me build and maintain this crucial lifeline during one of my life's toughest battles. Firstly, transparency was key. I learned to communicate openly about my needs and the specifics of my treatment schedule. This wasn't easy at first. Admitting vulnerability felt like admitting defeat, but in truth, It opened the door for genuine assistance and understanding from those around me. I used group emails and social media to keep my circle informed without having to repeat the emotional labor of individual updates. Next, I discovered the importance of delegation. Early on, I tried to coordinate everything myself, but it was exhausting and unrealistic. A friend suggested using an online scheduling tool, which became our go-to for organizing meal deliveries, household help, and transportation to appointments. This not only helped me but also made it easier for my neighbors to see where they could contribute their time and resources most effectively. Accepting help graciously was another lesson. At first, I struggled with feeling like a burden, worrying about the imposition my needs might place on others. Yet, I was reminded time and again that offering help was as much a gift to my supporters as their assistance was to me. It fostered a sense of purpose and community spirit that uplifted us all. Lastly, I learned the importance of gratitude. A simple thank you note, a heartfelt hug, or a public acknowledgement at a community gathering went a long way in expressing my appreciation. These gestures reinforced the bonds between us, ensuring that the network of support remained strong, even as my needs evolved. These lessons weren't just about managing logistics, they were about nurturing relationships and acknowledging the interconnectedness of our lives. They helped me realize that building a support network is not just about assembling a team to tackle a crisis but about deepening communal ties that offer strength and solace during our most vulnerable moments. Navigating through the landscape of cancer brought on challenges I never anticipated, hidden battles that went beyond the physical tolls. Each morning, as I woke to face the day, it was as if I had to prepare myself not just for the physical fight but for the emotional and mental warfare that awaited me. There were moments when the sheer uncertainty of my situation threatened to engulf me. Questions without answers would swirl in my mind during sleepless nights, painting shadows of doubt and fear. One of the most difficult aspects to grapple with was the sense of isolation, despite the incredible support system I had. Cancer has a way of erecting barriers, invisible to the outside eye but palpably thick and isolating for those of us on this journey. It was as though I was living in a parallel universe where life went on as usual for everyone else, but for me, time seemed to move differently, weighed down by appointments, treatments, and an ever-present undercurrent of worry about the future. Moreover, managing my own expectations became an unseen challenge. On days when I felt relatively strong, I would overcommit myself, wanting to seize the day, only to be reminded by my body's limitations that recovery and healing do not follow a linear path. The frustration of this reality, of having to relearn and respect my own boundaries, was a struggle that often left me feeling defeated. Yet, amidst these unseen challenges, there was also a quiet transformation taking place within me. I was learning to navigate my emotions with a newfound depth of understanding and patience, to find solace in moments of solitude, and to lean into the vulnerability of asking for and accepting help. These internal battles, though unseen, were shaping me, teaching me resilience in the face of adversity and the profound strength that comes from embracing every aspect of this journey, shadows and all. Every step forward in my treatment was met with an outpouring of love and celebration from my community. The journey of living with a cancer diagnosis is punctuated by moments that, to the outside world, might seem small or insignificant, but to someone walking this path, they are monumental victories. It was in these victories that I found not only solace but also a deepened connection with my neighbors. After each round of chemotherapy, feeling the physical and emotional toll it took on me, there was always a moment of relief, of triumph, that I wasn't walking this path alone. My neighbors, who had become more like family, were right there to celebrate these milestones. Their enthusiasm and joy were infectious, turning what could have been a moment of quiet relief into a shared celebration of resilience and hope. There were times when a positive update from my doctor would spark impromptu gatherings in my living room, filled with laughter, homemade treats, and stories that lifted my spirits. These gatherings were a testament to the collective spirit of support and optimism that my neighbors brought into my life. Each celebration, no matter how small it might have seemed, was a reminder of the progress we were making together, of the hurdles we were overcoming as a community. These moments of celebration were not just about marking milestones in my treatment, they were about acknowledging our shared journey, the strength we drew from one another, and the unwavering support that encircled me. Each victory, each step forward, was a beacon of hope, illuminating the path ahead with the promise of more moments like these, moments of joy, unity, and shared triumph that transcended the challenges of my diagnosis. Through these celebrations, we were weaving a tapestry of memories that bound us together, a testament to the power of community and the indomitable spirit of the human heart. Facing the future after a cancer diagnosis brings a mix of emotions, uncertainty, resolve, and above all, hope. My treatment journey stretches out before me, a path not yet fully charted, but one I am ready to navigate with every ounce of courage I possess. It's a road I know I won't have to travel alone. The support of my neighbors has wrapped me in a blanket of love and resilience, igniting a flame of optimism within me that burns brighter with each passing day. Their acts of kindness, big and small, have become my compass, guiding me through the toughest days and reminding me of the strength we share as a community. This network of caring souls has transformed my fight against cancer into a collective battle, one we are committed to facing together. As I continue with my treatment, I am buoyed by this remarkable support system. Each visit to the hospital, each round of therapy, feels less daunting knowing I have an army of friends and neighbors cheering me on. Their encouragement fuels my determination to press forward, to face the challenges that lie ahead with grace and grit. The journey is long, and the outcome uncertain, but I am filled with hope. Hope for healing, for moments of joy amidst the struggle, and for the incredible power of community to see us through the darkest of times. With each new day, I am reminded that while cancer may be a part of my story, it does not define me. Together, we are writing a narrative of strength, support, and unwavering hope, a story that continues to unfold with every step we take on this long road ahead.